What I'll also tell you is that Agent Mulder has developed a consuming devotion to an unassigned project outside the Bureau mainstream. Are you familiar with the so-called X-Files?
Welcome everybody to the Dark Talk Files, Episode 9, Space. I am your host Dan, and I'm joined by my FBI partner Paul. How are you doing, Paul?
I am wonderful, thank you. And how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Just drinking my coffee with my John Davis coaster that you
got. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot, I gave you that, didn't I?
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
So we're here to talk about space this episode, Episode 9. What did you think of this one?
It's okay. It's alright. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, it was okay. All the way leading up to it, I was reading the synopsis and I was like, oh yeah, there's an alien in this episode. I know it's not a myth arc one, but I'm going to consider it a myth arc. You know, like we did with the Conduit. And then after the episode had finished, I was like, oh, well, that's not... Yeah.
This episode, for me, though, it does signify a moment that Scully sees something that is supernatural, that is, like, unexplainable.
Okay.
Right at the end. We'll get to it, but right at the end, yeah.
Okay, let's roll with the plot. So we get our pre-credits, which is like a bunch of stock footage and archive footage, like a news report of the discovery of water on Mars, which happened in real life, I think. And the human face that's sculpted into the ground that appears in like a ton of conspiracy theories. And we get a TV interview from astronaut, at this point he's Lieutenant Commander Marcus Aurelius Belt. And this guy looks the spitting image of Freddy Krueger himself, Jack Earl Haley.
Well, now you mention that, I have actually got a list of people that this guy looks like. Because every time he was on screen, I thought he looked like someone different. So on my list, I have Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
He was like the first one that I thought, shit, is that Randy Quaid? And then he looked like Cyrus from Trailer Park Boys.
Yo, yeah.
Then he also looked like Zinedine Zidane.
Zinedine Zidane?
Yeah, he did. And then he also looked like Brian Callen. You'd know him from Oz, probably. He's an actor. He's in the Goldbergs as well. He's in a bunch of things. But he's you know him from Oz. He plays like he's like a religious... he's a Christian, one of the Christian guys. Jonathan.
I know him. Yeah, I know him.
And he also, in my notes here, he also looks like a fish.
Like a fish.
So there we go.
Well, there you go. He's our main, I suppose he's the main villain of this episode, really.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so Belt is an astronaut who is he's suffering from some kind of PTSD after his last mission, which was a spacewalk. This PTSD seemingly manifests itself as a scary face in his ceiling, which just goes boom every time he's trying to sleep, and he's like, ah! Which, it would be pretty shit to be haunted by this thing, because it just looks fucking stupid.
Well, sleep deprivation is not a joke, Dan.
No, I know, yeah. Listen, I work night shifts, so I know all about sleep deprivation.
I worked nights for 8 years, so I know what sleep deprivation did to me and how it changed me as a person.
Yeah, it's not healthy, and it probably takes years off your life.
Yeah.
But I've never been a good sleeper anyway. I'm even if I'm working day shifts, I'm still up till like 3 o'clock in the morning most nights anyway, reading.
Yeah, wanking.
Yeah, so we cut to present day and we're at the NASA launch, which gets aborted in the last 3 seconds because there's some kind of malfunction that's been detected. And in DC, Mulder has received a mysterious note to meet a source from NASA in the park, and he and Scully are just waiting there for whoever it is to arrive, and they meet Michelle Generu, who is the mission control commander. Have I got that right? She's
something.
Yeah, something.
Her fiance is an astronaut, so she works there.
Yeah. He got her the position, did
he? Definitely. Yeah. Nah, she seems like a pro. She's got her head switched on. Is that a phrase? A phrase, isn't it? She knows her shit. She knows what she's saying.
Yeah. But she believes that there is a saboteur in the mission. Somebody's been tampering with the equipment, but there's no explanation on who the person is or how the person did it, because I think it's implied it's impossible. The sabotage couldn't have occurred because of the temperature of the rocket at the time. No human could have done it. Or something. It's left quite. There's a lot of jargon in this episode.
There's that's what I was thinking about the main character lady who we just spoke about. Like, she has to spout out some right shit in this episode.
She does, doesn't she? Fair fucks to the actress.
Yeah. So they make up a bunch of shit to make it sound sciencey, I think. I mean, it probably does make sense, but to me, it doesn't. So.
Yeah, I was just completely over my head. I was like, oh yeah, and where are the aliens? So yeah, she's gone to Mulder because he's got obviously he's the go-to guy for this sort of shit. There's another launch tomorrow, and her fiance is on the shuttle. He's the actual captain or the commander for the new mission, so she has a personal stake in this as well. Scully asks Mulder who would want to sabotage the space mission, and he robotically lists off a bunch of enemies willing to sabotage a rocket launch. And he's like, yeah, terrorists, futurists who think that the shuttle is obsolete, people who hate NASA, government self-sabotage so nobody can go into space. And Scully has just got this adorable look on her face. She's like, no, he's answering me earnestly. She's like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice moment from.
Yeah.
But, she's right to look at him adorably, because Mulder is like a kid wandering around this NASA base. He's like, oh, Scully, look at this rocket. It's the such and such rocket. And it nearly blew up. And, like, when he meets Colonel Belt, and he absolutely gushes over him. He's like, sir, you're one of my heroes. I watched your spacewalk when I was a kid. It was the best thing I've ever seen. And Scully's like, geez, Mulder, when you asked for his autograph.
Yeah. Just after he shakes his hand, introduces himself, and then they sit down, and then Scully gets straight into it. And then if you watch Mulder, he's like looking at him with a smile, and then he looks back at her, and he watches like her hand movements, looks back at him. It's fucking such good acting. It's like, it's so good. I love it. Yeah,
all of David Duchovny's like little mannerisms in this bit are really good, because as they're watching the rocket go off, I'm skipping a bit ahead now. He's just like really excited. He's just there with this grin on his face. He's like, "Oh my god, I get to watch the spaceship go off." And when it eventually does blast off, he's like got a big thumbs up, and he's like, "Yeah!" Oh, it's very funny, very funny.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
So they question Belt about the suspected sabotage, and they ask him to postpone the launch, but he refuses and claims that sabotage is impossible due to all the checks and balances on the equipment. And as I was watching this, I was thinking, oh, right, my dad used to work building airplanes for aerospace for 20 years, and he told me that quality control is like practically non-existent. He was like, you would never fly again if you saw all the kinds of shit that goes wrong in the manufacturing stage, which is overlooked because of deadlines and budgets and shit like that. So yeah, which I can believe this. Oh god, we're gonna get sued by Boeing now, aren't we?
Fuck them. We can take them. With all of our Patreon money.
Yeah. Please subscribe to this Patreon. We need the money to fight Boeing in court. Yeah, so Mulder asks to watch the liftoff from Mission Control, and Belt is like, yes, because you'll simply go over my head if I say no anyway. And I was thinking, no, this guy doesn't understand how little political power Mulder has. If he asked for anything, they'd be like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They hate him. They wouldn't grant him this permission.
Hell no. They'd be like, how much is this going to cost us, Mulder? What are the expenses this week?
Yeah, so it's launch time, and like we said, Mulder is very excited about this launch. He's trying to compose himself and stand normal.
Just before we go into that bit, so like as they're walking out of the office and they've just had that little meeting, Scully you can tell that she's seen through this guy. He's like, might be a bit of an arsehole, probably lying about something, because she's seen the x-rays, she's seen the evidence. And Mulder's just like, what, haven't you ever wanted to be an astronaut? And she's just like, she looks so impressed. She's like, so you're a rocket scientist? That don't impress me much. And then that popped in my head, and then that got me thinking about how like Brad Pitt caught a right stray. She's like, imagine him just like hearing that song for the first time, just like bopping his head. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then she's like, so you're Brad Pitt? And he's like, aw. He's like, what did I do?
I know, it's the same with fucking, she throws one out at Elvis as well. She's like, what do you think, you're Elvis or something?
Yeah, fucking hell. Leave these guys alone, like. I'm going to go with rocket scientist.
Yeah, so the launch goes ahead, everyone applauds, but they find out that later that there's something wrong with the shuttle and they've lost communication with it. Mulder and Scully told this by Michelle, and she wants to bring them back to mission control, so they follow her in it. They drive after her in a separate car in the pouring rain, and she has an accident when this creepy space ghost face from the pre-credits appears in front of her, and it's like, boo! And she flips her car, and she just goes fucking flying. I was like, why did the ghost do this? It's just like...
It doesn't want her to go back and fix anything. It wants her to not be able to, so that it can do whatever the fuck its intention is.
I tell you what, let's talk about this. Let's use this to talk about the monster of the week. Like, what is this? Is it a ghost, or is it an alien, or is it...
I mean, it comes from space, so it's an alien. We don't know what kind of life forms are out there, whether they take the appearance of a spooky ghost, or a grey, or a reptilian, or anything like that. So I'm not doing any more fucking ghosts, right, after the last one. It's an alien. Not the last one, but the one before. It's an alien, but it's like a ghostly alien. And I don't know what its intentions are. But... do they actually say what the intentions of the space crew are doing? Because they say how...
they just keep going on about
this mission.
It needs to deliver its payload, otherwise Congress is going to pull funding from the space program. So that's kind of why Colonel Belt is a bit of a zealot in this one. But
yeah.
I think I'm going to choose to believe this is a ghost of a dead astronaut. So I think it's a human ghost, but it's been stuck in space. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, okay. That's actually a better explanation than just space ghost.
Or like... fucking random space ghost coast to coast.
Yeah. But yeah, so we don't know what the intentions are of this payload, meaning that we don't know why this ghost is doing what it's doing. So
they cut away a bit later on when they show the shuttle delivering its payload to like a bunch of stock footage, like real life space shuttle footage, and I think it's like launching part of a satellite or something like that. It's I don't know, who cares?
Yeah, it's not an episode that you need to care that much about. So when when they actually do return, the guy explains to her what's going on, and his acting, I really like his acting here. He reminds me of the dad from Beethoven. And he's sitting there, and he starts explaining. He's like, "What happened to your head?" And she's like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, like you say, there's an absolute ton of scientific engineering jargon going on here, but basically the shuttle is in a lot of shit, and it's going to burn up because somebody is fucking around with the telemetry system from the mission control data banks. It's like me playing with my action figures when I'm a kid. Oh no, the shuttle's going to collapse because the data banks are losing the telemetry system. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm a little Daniel. What a strange kid.
Okay, I wish I could go back to just play with action figures. That'd be great.
Oh, speaking of that, I was watching a bit of Bucky O'Hare the other day.
Oh my god, yeah, shit, I've still got them, my Bucky O'Hare action figures.
I had a big fucking ape kind of character, what's his name? Anyway, I always wanted Bucky and I always wanted Deadeye Duck.
I had both of them.
I went on Vinted and I found them. They're all super cheap on there, so I'm going to buy them and just play with them a little bit. Yeah.
I had Bucky, I had Deadeye Duck, I had the Toad Captain.
Oh yeah.
And I had. Do you remember the cyborg Toad, which was like purple and gold? Toadborg.
Toadborg, yeah. Because I always thought him and the like gorilla type character were like very similar. Like they were like the bizarro versions of each other. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And they weren't that similar, but they were very cool. They were the brutes, as you say. And that led me to watching a bit of Pirates of Dark Water as well, which is all on YouTube. And then I sent you someone's made an AI live action.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you need to watch it. It's really good. If you were a fan of Pirates of Dark Water, it'll be right up your. Right.
It wasn't. It wasn't on for very long, was it? It was only like one series.
Yeah, probably. But like, just think of the amount of like good shit that was coming out those days. It was probably hard to survive in the world of Thundercats and Turtles and
the big boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was watching The Real Ghostbusters as well, which fucking slaps. Absolutely amazing.
I with the Ghostbusters, I had more of the toys than I ever watched the TV show.
I had loads of the toys as well. I've still got them.
I tell you what I was watching a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember? Obviously, there was the He-Man Masters of the Universe cartoon and the She-Ra cartoon.
I know what you're going to say.
Do you remember the New Adventures of He-Man?
Yeah, I fucking loved that shit so much. I had the toy of... It was... Do you remember the guy who had his head in like a glass, like a little fish tank head?
Yeah.
I think I had the toy of him. because I used to go to this toy shop like every Saturday in Chester with my mum. And she'd always buy me a new toy every Saturday.
There was another He-Man. There was a 2002 He-Man that came out, which is like a reboot. I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I remember. I've seen like clips of it and stuff, but I never watched it because I was probably a bit too old at that point. But yeah, that New Adventures one was so good. Fuck.
I don't know. I've gone back and watched a couple of them. I think this isn't that good.
Obviously now, but back then it would have been amazing. And I just loved the character design and stuff because it was just so different from the original He-Man.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a reboot. Anyway, let's get back to this episode.
Right. I will kick us back into this episode with, there's a guy, I can't remember which part of the episode he's in. He's like a science guy, and
I know you mean.
So, if it's the same person that I'm thinking of, do he look like anyone to you in particular?
Is it the guy with the dark hair and the big nerdy glasses?
No, it's this guy here.
Oh, right, okay, so he's like one of the mission control dudes.
Yeah, so I could not stop thinking about how much he looked like Jim Ross. From wrestling.
He does if you stick a cowboy hat on him, yeah.
Well, you're in luck, Dan, because I have drawn a cowboy hat and glasses.
That's uncanny.
How much does he look like him? It's fucking crazy. I love it.
So back at Mission Control, Colonel Belt has to make a serious decision, and he grants complete control of the shuttle over to the crew, basically untethers them from ground support, so that they can adjust their ship and deliver the payload. Oh my god, the amount of times he says that in this episode. There's a very tense moment when the shuttle doesn't make the expected maneuver, so when ground control re-establish radio contact, they're like, "Shuttle, come in. Is everything okay?" And it's like a few moments of tense silence, and then the captain is like, "Looks like we got this bird to fly right, yeah!" It's like, USA! Woo! USA! And everyone claps and applauds, and it's like, yeah, it's like, did it, it's like a Michael Bay film.
Yeah. All you hear is dun 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 dun.
So Belt gives a press conference about the status of the show. Basically tells a few lies, and Mulder starts to realise that Belt is not quite the hero that he seems, that Belt put the lives of his astronauts on the line to complete the mission, so the program doesn't get shut down by Congress. And Mulder asks him now, right, if Belt thinks that there's a saboteur, but Belt pretty much just says, "You'll see my answer when I bring my crew back safe and sound." So it's like he's not quite a bad guy.
Yeah, like his intentions. Well, it reveals his true intentions, like towards the end, doesn't it? He's not a bad guy, but he's doing nefarious things for some mystery kind of reason. He's hiding shit.
Yeah. Okay. So Belt's motives is he knows things are being sabotaged and going wrong, but he's sort of pushing ahead anyway because he knows the mission has to go ahead.
Yeah.
But it turns out that Belt himself is the saboteur because he's possessed by the space ghost. That's the basic plot, right?
Yeah, kind of, but it's also he who sent the X-rays as well.
Yeah, so he sent the X-rays to Mulder and Scully to get someone to...
He's got like 4 motives that all contradict each other. He's like, I'm gonna fucking sabotage this, but it has to go ahead. And then he's like,
but it needs to be investigated.
He's like, but they also need to come back home safely. But I'm also going to let them know that it was me that did it. It's like, fucking hell.
Look at Belt.
Christ. I know. What a belt end.
Well, he goes back to his Airbnb room and he just opens the fridge and picks this bottle of vodka and just swigs it from the bottle. It's like, fucking hell, that looks well nice.
I wish I was him right now.
Yeah, he starts having flashbacks to his spacewalk and he begins sort of like separating from the space ghost, which like spookily flies out the window. It's like, ooh, flies out into the city, and he's like, oh god, where's it going? And it flies up to space to attack the shuttle. You don't see any of this, but the commander, he's like, Houston, we got a problem up here. There's a dull thump outside, and oh my god, there's a ghost outside. There's somebody outside the shuttle. Yeah, so I think this is the
ghost.
Can you imagine an astronaut say that? There's a ghost outside the shuttle.
It's a spooky ghost. It's like that South Park episode. They're like, are there any spooky ghosts in here?
But there is something does happen to the shuttle. There's some sort of damage outside, and their oxygen basically gets sabotaged and destroyed. And they've only got 30 minutes of backup oxygen left, so they're pretty fucked. So Mulder and Scully go to find Colonel Belt and like wake him up from his. It looks like he's been on an all-night bender. Like they knock at his hotel room, and he's like, "Oh bloody hell, my head!" They drive him to mission control, and basically he orders the crew to get into their spacesuits. And he's like, "Get in your spacesuits, right? And just jettison the payload," which is pretty fucking hard. He's just like, just get rid of that payload. So Scully theorizes that Belt has known about the sabotage all along and has been covering it up. But yeah, we get all that space shuttle stock footage while it completes its mission, and then they contact mission control, and that's when they broadcast the SOS about there being a ghost outside the ship. Which causes Belt to have like a massive breakdown and like goes into a seizure, and he's like at risk of having a stroke. And
they go into his office to look for him, and they're like, "He's not here."
And he's hiding like under the desk.
Yeah, you're like a whimpering. It's like, hold on a minute, the fuck? He's like, he's cowering under his desk, just
sucking his thumb.
Yeah, probably still feeling that straight vodka that he was smashing earlier on.
Yeah, he must be hungover to shit.
That's when they strap him up, don't they? And they're like, his fever is fucking dead eye. He is gonna die in a minute. And Mulder's like, no, he's not. Tell me where it is. Tell me what I need to know.
They call the paddy wagon, and they're like, yeah, strap him down. And then I try to like take him off and sedate him. And Mulder's like, listen, calm down. We can get this shuttle back to Earth. And he's like, Colonel Belt, look at my finger. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, Mulder, you're a hypnotist as well, now are you? Just like. So Belt does actually reveal that the shuttle cannot re-enter the atmosphere because, fed up of saying the word sabotage, it's been sabotaged. He like smashed it up when he was possessed by the space ghost. So Michelle takes the executive decision to bring the shuttle down because they only have like 10 minutes of oxygen left at this point. And Belt says to Mulder, just as he's being wheeled off, he says, Mulder, you need to change the trajectory to 35 degrees and you have to land in Albuquerque, otherwise the shuttle is going to burn up on re-entry. It's like, Mulder's like, okay. And he like sprints to mission control. He says, everyone listen, you've got to change the trajectory to 35 degrees. And I was like, it can't be that simple. They'd probably take like, you know, how many calculations and shit have they got to do? It's like, no, just change this one thing and it'll be sound.
Alright, so this is what I took from it. Imagine them being up in space, here's Earth. They've got all their calculations correct, so their trajectory is going to send them down. And like, I don't know what they're changing from, I don't think. But imagine such a slight change. So like, there's the angle they're coming. They change it to that, and then they just fly past Earth, just out into deep space towards the sun. It's just like, fuck.
Fuck's sake,
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, like any tiny miscalculation would like fuck up your mission. So
yeah. I mean, the point I was really getting to was how much of a change would they have to get to Albuquerque from?
They're trying to land in Houston, aren't they?
Houston. So like the change in the angle must have been so minute to just get from like here to here on Earth.
Yeah, because I think like, you know, astronomically, like Albuquerque and Houston aren't very far apart.
Yeah.
I think it must be in real life like 500 miles or something, but like.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully the shuttle lands safely, and it's a happy ending for everyone. Except for Colonel Belt, who is hospitalized and still possessed by the space ghost. And Belt decides to just jump through the window and plunge to his death. And the doctors put it down to severe dementia, which Mulder is like, no, he was possessed by a space ghost, and this was the only way that he knew to kill the ghost. And
yeah, quite a fucking mad ending, that, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So they show Belt's funeral, and Michelle and her fiance are there with Mulder and Scully paying their respect. And I was certain that we were going to get like a final scare episode, because so you hadn't seen the fiance was the shuttle pilot all episode, you just hear his voice. But when he stood at the funeral, I thought it was going to fade to him having the space ghost face, and I was like, oh, here we go again.
It probably should have done, really, because that would have been nice.
I quite like it the way it did end, because it like zooms in on the American flag on his coffin. It's playing the sad dur dur dur, dur dur dur, and it was quite a nice ending. I thought it was, you know, Belt wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, he's conflicted by his space ghost, and it made him make all sorts of bad decisions. But he was an American hero in the end. So yeah, all right, you might be right, but I still would have preferred to see a space ghost face on somebody. So a thing that we just we forgot to mention earlier is when he is having his like seizure kind of episode, the space ghost does appear on his face, and Scully sees it. Like she is looking at him when it happens.
She does. You're right.
So this is like the actual first time that she sees anything that could be deemed as supernatural and just not pure science. Because she's got a fucking answer for everything, but this she doesn't have. She shouldn't have an answer for it. She just
they never mention that Scully sees it. She just sort of shrugs it off. It's never.
Yeah. It'd be sick if Mulder was like, "Right, Scully, did you fucking actually see that? Because you have missed everything that's ever happened, and you've always got an answer. Fucking answer that, will you?"
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, what do you think of this one?
I love space and like astronaut stuff and all that. So like the setting was awesome, and it was cool to see our heroes in a different setting and like a different universe. Not literally, but like yeah. However, it was a bit boring, a little bit predictable. I didn't like Space Ghost at all. It would have been better if he had been getting signals from aliens to do this stuff, so that they were like telling him to do stuff because when he was in space, something happened. It didn't even have to explain it. Just something less like Space Ghosty.
Yeah, it was a bit. I thought the effects were very good. Just thought it was quite a weak episode. It wasn't as bad as Jersey Devil, but yeah, it's quite low down for me. This.
I thought Jersey Devil was better, to be honest.
Right. So this would be your least favourite episode so far?
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah. Oh no, maybe the ghost one, the other ghost. But then that had some good parts as well. No, I'd say I don't know. It's hard because like I do like the episode, and I by no means dislike it. I wouldn't watch it again anytime soon.
Yeah, but by X-Files standards, it's not great. So, Paul, have you got any trivia for us?
Well, funny that you asked, Dan. Yes, I fucking have. Although the series made use of a good amount of inexpensive stock footage from NASA, the construction of the command center set was subject to cost overruns, leading the episode to become the most expensive of the first season. Fucking hell. Couldn't they just use like a building that didn't have to be so expensive? I don't. Ugh. But yeah, and they couldn't put a bit more money into the alien ghost. Jeez. Colonel Belt was the mission command of Gemini 8, which nearly ended in disaster and had to make an emergency landing in the Pacific Ocean. This mirrors the real Gemini 8 commanded by Neil Armstrong. After docking with the Agena, the coupled vehicles began an increasing, unordered, uncontrollable spin. Armstrong was forced to emergency separate from the Agena in hopes that would stop the spin. When it did not, he then fired the retro rocket to arrest the spin, which resulted in the mission being aborted. Fucking hell, that was a lot. Visual effects supervisor Matt Beck had only 4 days to create the special effects needed for the episode. There you go. Probably done that.
Yeah, for 4 days, that's not bad.
Yeah. Windows 92. Isn't it? This was intended as a bottle episode to save money by being shot in a single location, but still went over budget. Yeah, it is bottle-y, isn't it? I mean, the part when they're driving down the road and she has the crash, that is obviously just filmed on one of those typical roads that they use all the time in these episodes. And then most of it was just inside that building, so yeah, kind of bottle-y. The interior shots were filmed on a set constructed at an old Molson brewery site. And finally, this 1993 episode uses footage of 3 different shuttles. The aborted first launch sequence shows the shuttle Discovery. The successful second sequence shows the ill-fated shuttle Columbia. In 2003, 10 years after this episode premiered, the shuttle Columbia would disintegrate on re-entry due to damaged heat tiles. Colonel Belt says in the episode, the shuttle can't survive re-entry. The fuselage is damaged. Cone tiles are destroyed. When the shuttle is shown in orbit, the name on the tail appears to be that of the Space Shuttle Challenger. The Challenger exploded 73 seconds after its launch on January 28, 1986.
Yeah, so Challenger's the famous one. Scully even mentions it in the show. She's like, Belt worked on the Challenger, but I remember I mean I wasn't born when the Challenger happened, but I remember the Columbia one from 2003.
I don't remember that.
I remember that one. Yeah.
That's very spooky, that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some of the things that he said. That's all the trivia of the week, my friend.
Have you got any spooky stories for us this week?
Yes, I do. Right, so let me just find my spooky stories tab. So I have found this on a podcast called Astronomy Cast, and it's episode 658. And I've just read through their show notes, and I clicked on one of the links, which then takes me to Smithsonian Magazine. So this is the story from the Smithsonian Magazine. Mysterious music spooked Apollo 10 astronauts. Archival audio reveals eerie sounds heard by astronauts on the dark side of the moon. Ugh, fucking hell. Just a few months before Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, and the other guy who no one ever talks about, made their historic moon landing, 3 NASA astronauts circled the moon as part of the Apollo 10 mission. This was a dress rehearsal of sorts for the actual moon landing mission, and as far as most people knew, it went fairly smoothly. Yet, the internet has recently been abuzz about the audio recorded during the mission, which captures the 3 startled crew members taking in the eerie sounds emanating from their radios. One of the Apollo 10's main missions was to test the technology that allowed the spacecraft's lunar lander module to detach and reattach to the command module. But while the modules were separated for several hours, the crew members began hearing strange sounds. The sounds were captured on an audio recording below. Listen closely, the sound is faint compared to the background of the craft, but it starts around 2 minutes 48. And I've listened to this, and I honestly can't really hear that much. So we could leave a link in the description to that audio. So this is what the astronauts have said in this clip. You hear that whistling sound? Apollo 10 astronaut Eugene Cernan asked his crewmates, according to the transcript of the mission. Boy, that sure is weird music. It's not surprised that Cernan and his fellow crew members Thomas Stafford and John Young were freaked out when they suddenly heard eerie noises coming from their instruments. At the time, the Apollo 10 spacecraft was on the far side of the moon, out of contact with mission control and the farthest that any human has ever been from Earth. And the odd, high-pitched whine sounds like a stereotypical alien sound from a 1950s science fiction flick. And here's some more of the transcript. You know that was funny, Cernan said in the transcript. That's just like something from outer space. Really, who's going to believe it? Nobody, Young answered. Shall we tell them about it? I don't know, Cernan replied. We ought to think about it some. It's quite a cool answer. For decades, the freaky moment and audio clips went unnoticed until recently when it made its way into a Science Channel program called NASA's Unexplained Files, which dramatizes stories and small details from NASA mission files. While the transcripts and audio have been publicly available at the National Archives since the 1970s, NASA has only recently scanned and digitalized the materials to publish on the internet. So there you go. And if you have a listen yourself, Dan, you'll hear it and then you can decide on what you think it really is. And that is the spooky story. However, I do have a little bit more to talk about because on this astronomy cast, in the show notes, there are a few cool things that I did want to look into. One of which was, why are there dozens of dead animals floating in space? Chinese astronaut puzzled by knocking sound in space. Here's what NASA plans to do if an astronaut dies in space. It's animals in space. It's quite a cool, podcast. I might listen to it properly later. But also, one of these links led me to a Unilad page, right? And it's one of those shitty websites where there's just so much crap that it's hard to really see. But without clicking on any of that crap, I'll just read you some of the articles on this, right? 3 articles about vaping, which is great, cool. There's one that's called The Mystery Behind Bermuda Triangle and How It Could Be Solved by Science, which is very interesting to me. I'm not going to click on it though. Harvard scientist has 15-point plan to tackle alien threat amid mysterious object aiming at Earth. That sounds fucking awesome. Study claims kids who get smartphones before this age are likely to have these psychological symptoms when they are something else. Another vape one. Scientists studying NASA's James Webb Space Telescope discovers black hole 300 million times bigger than the sun, which is fucking terrifying. And I will just give you one more because there are 3 of the same fucking story with different headlines. And this is, devastating impact disease has on infected Frankenstein rabbits with tentacles as they invade US. The other ones of that same link, because it's got the same picture, are expert issues warning to pet owners after Frankenstein rabbits with tentacles invade the US. And that's the other one's got the same headline as well. And that is fucking hilarious to me. And there's a picture of this rabbit and it's got like Cthulhu tentacles coming out of its face.
So that was Space. Not a great episode, but we'll rank it at the end of the season. But yeah, I don't think either of us were very impressed with that one.
No, I think the caliber has been much higher so far, and this doesn't meet it. But
Yeah.
a bit of a boring one, very skippable, but it's probably better than a lot of other TV shows still because it's X-Files and it's got Mulder and Scully. So
But we hold
Still
X-Files
gives you
to a
that-
higher standard.
oh, absolutely, it still gives you that feeling. I get this feeling from watching it, no matter what episode I'm watching.
Yeah.
You know, I get that feeling. So there you go.
Okay. Right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to the Dark Talk Files. We'll be back next episode with a Myth Arc episode, finally.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fallen Angel. You ready for this one?
Fuck yes, I am. Absolutely. Been waiting
Okay.
too long for this.
Right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye and good night.
Bye bye.